everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So it is morning and I am working away, making a little bit of progress on fairy journals. So this one is one of the larger of all of them that I'm making. And so as of yesterday, I finally got all the signatures loaded with all the pages that I want, all the papers, the extra papers that I want, and I'm starting now to work on them kind of in a format of treating each signature as its own little journal. That's how I'm going to get through this, because this is the hard part for me anyways, where I'll start to explain to you. So I'll give you a little flip through of where I'm going with this. So I've done some work on this one this morning, so I'll save it for last. But the challenge at this point, right, is that you've cut out a bunch of book pages. You had to trim them to size to fit your journal. And now you need to figure out how to make them good functional journaling pages. So getting rid of things like this that you don't really want, deciding if you want to keep these kind of things, covering this up, adding things to the journal to make it more functional in terms of just the flat pages. This is before we even get to the whole adding of ephemera. So there's a lot of steps involved kind of in making a journal, right? So I'll want to cover this up. I've chosen to add a lot of dyed papers to these books. This I'll probably cover up. This I'll keep clearly. And the way that I've put them together is kind of like a dyed page, then a book page. Some book pages, like this one, is torn. It's going to need some work. I've got to figure out what I want to do with that. I have a couple fun ideas. But yeah, they're coming along. And so now is kind of the tough part of needing to make these more functional as journals, and not just a bunch of book pages kind of cobbled together here. It needs to all get cohesive. But I'll show you just a little bit of what these are going to look like in their kind of raw state. So before I begin to really decorate them and embellish them and make them journals. Yeah. I love them so far, though. I really do. I think they're going to be a lot of fun. They're going to be very interesting. They're going to have a lot of styles. And then when I get to the ephemera adding, that's just going to be really fun. But anyways, this is where this is going, and I'm pretty happy about it. And also, they're all going to be quite different, I have to say. So if you're a fairy journal lover or collector, I think you'll be able to look at these and see a few different options. If you're looking for a certain kind of journal or more than one journal that is fairy related, there will be many options here. So okay, so this is the one I started to work on this morning. And I know I said I wasn't adding any kind of ephemera yet, but the exception to that is sometimes pockets. If there's something that I want to immediately cover with a pocket instead of, painting over it or something, because why bother if it's under a pocket? So I did add a few things. There was nothing to cover on this one. I was just trying to get a little bit of a concept for how I want the opening of the journal to be. I always like to add some special things to this one. So for this one, like your opening page, right? I want something nice on the inside cover, be it a pocket or just a really nice end paper. I think I probably will be doing pockets on these journals though, on the inside covers. So I like to open up to something quite enticing. So this image is just beautiful, and I added this little this is a little image of Cicely Mary Barker, who really inspires this whole project of fairies, because it's the flower fairies that have really impacted me. So then I added a little fussy cut butterfly here, and this is a tuck spot. Some avocado dyed ribbon here, and on back some of the blue. Then I added some there was text here from this storybook, so I added some of my marbled avocado dyed paper. And then this page I've left so far, this is my cabbage dyed sunburst paper. Then I stenciled on this one. I'm also in the process of kind of understanding where I want the pages to sit. So this one, I'm going to have it sit down here lower. Then the next one is going to go higher. They're going to sort of offset. I've done some stenciling here. Yeah, I like to kind of set them a little offset because that's part of the fun, I think. And then this one I also added a little pocket to, and this little, it is said that the Tooth Fairy rewards children by replacing any teeth they put under their pillow with a coin. So I just added that little cluster there. So yeah, we have a lot of work to do. This is where I left off, other than to say that I also added a lace tuck area back here and a little, one of those little stamps that Marnell from Mimi's Keepsake sent to me. So that's pretty much all I've done so far. And then I kind of had a burnout moment. I just need to like take a break from it because this is the stage where I'm a little overwhelmed. I have a lot to do to make this interesting, and the biggest challenges that I have are these pages, these white, like nothing happening on them pages. I'm starting to get a little better though at feeling like you can leave some white pages. Like they don't all have to be something, right? Like you want this to be a functional journal for people to do their own thing, and they may want to glue things in. So I'm trying to make these a little bit of a combo of that. So what I might do is something small, like something glued down, or a cluster, or just a little mini collage. Yeah. But anyways, I took a break and made these. Because again, I'm battling my scraps, and I wanted to make these little, I just sort of was looking at them going, I want to make these little grungy journals. And so these are these little envelopes that I got while thrifting the other day. And I just started kind of collaging them with some fun old papers and nature papers. And I'm thinking like little grungy nature journals would be a lot of fun. I love this. This is the gold from that really special National Geographic that has the holographic earth on the front. Yeah, so that's what I made this morning while I was having my brain moment, and I just stitched around them. I have yet to seal them. They still need to be sealed, but that'll come later. I need to put them on the back burner because I'm like, I think sometimes what I do when I'm feeling creative pressure is I start another new project rather than buckling down on the one I'm on. So let's buckle down a little bit. Okay, where do I need to be? I need to be here. So this is a functional page, so I don't need to deal with it right now. I only need to deal with the pages that have something on them that make them not really functional for what I want to use them for. These are all functional pages. They don't have any weird text or things that I wasn't wanting in the journal. They're good. I may cover this up later though, to believe, because I don't really like it. It's just not my style. Okay, so I think from a functionality perspective, this one is good. It's done. Then what I want to do is maybe just cover this little bit of stitching with a leaf or something. I just took my leaves and put them in a bag. I need to find them now. I can't remember where I put them. I was doing this cleanup project, well, not cleanup, but just kind of organizing project, because here's a paper leaf. That might be fun. We had to replace our water heater. So our furnace room, where our water heater is here in my studio, kind of in one of the hallways. And so we had to have workers here yesterday doing that. So I started doing my obsessive tiny tidying that I do, and I had these big leafy branches of leaves, and I decided I should pull all the leaves off and put them in a bag. Now, who knows where I put the bag, right? That's okay. I will find it. Okay, let's see. Maybe like a little leafy cluster like that from this bit of scrappy linen here. Then I'm going to actually stitch through it down the center, and then I'm going to glue it on. 1 minute. That's what I want to do. And then we'll glue that sort of, how do I want to do it that I don't cover my little fairy friend there? Maybe like so. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm so happy to have the new water heater installed. It was still heating water just fine, but it had this little tiny leak that we noticed, because there's like in most utility rooms, there's a floor drain so nothing bad happens. Oops. Sorry about that, that's my alarm. And I noticed there had been some water on the floor, and so I checked the condenser on the air, and it wasn't that. It has nothing to do with the furnace or anything. And I was like, oh, it's the water heater. So that has been replaced. Okay, yeah, that's good on that side. Okay, so maybe that a little press here. Okay, so first signature is usable. Now we got to go to the next one. So yeah, I have like a lot of signatures to deal with between all these journals. It's gonna be a busy time. I'm trying to decide if I want to change up my channel's like programming format for a little while as I try to finish these. Let me know in the comments if you have thoughts on that. Like, I'm thinking of not doing Tuesday 10 necessarily, just kind of working on ephemera or just on whatever I'm doing with these journals, versus Tuesday 10 and, you know, other things. I'm definitely behind on Marguerite Miller, but I'm okay with that. I don't feel pressured about it. I'm just looking through. I know I have, there it is. I have this little piece of paper here that I think would be really cute, of this fairy, and that would cover that whole page. So let me just tear the edge to make it a little more even. Then we will ink around the edges of it, maybe with some green. That would be cute. But yeah, I'm thinking like I probably should try to focus on these to just get them done. So yesterday was a beautiful day. Oh my goodness. It was hot yesterday, but there was just this wild wind. It was so windy, but it made it so pleasant to be outside. And we went for a little trip to a nearby city and had a lovely time. We kind of had a nice walk. We had a picnic. We got this this very nice little pizza shop there that we like, and we got a pizza. We got some nice cold drinks. I'm not a big fan of Tim Hortons, even though I'm in Canada. I don't find their coffee to be good. I don't drink their coffee, but I do get like some things there when it's the only option. So they actually now have something that will keep bringing me back, which is that they have unsweetened, freshly brewed iced tea. So that makes me unbelievably happy. So I don't know how many of you Americans have come to Canada or Canadians have gone to the US, and if you're an iced tea fan, unsweetened like I am, it's pretty much everywhere in the United States, but in Canada, it is nowhere. We only have like these really gross sweetened iced teas, and they're not good like, American sweet tea from the South or something. No. We're talking like Lipton Brisk or Nestea, and they are both awful in my opinion. They're not like tea at all. They're just this weird kind of cousin of soda, and I can't stand them. So I was super happy that there's unsweetened tea, which is important to me because I don't like to get a lot of sugar. Speaking of beverages, coffee. Okay, so then that page, happy with. Now, A fairy voyage. If I were just a fairy small, I'd take a leaf and sail away. I'd sit astride and stem and guide. I'd straight to fairyland and stay. Now, with this page, it's pretty much fine. This is going to be the big one. There's a little bit I'd like to cover here, just these little legs that are coming off the page of another little fairy that had to go bye-bye. So, I could do some kind of like a cluster or a tab. I'll show you what I'm pulling. This is kind of a bit of a nightmare because there's so much stuff in here. This is all for fairy journals, right? So I'm thinking about a tab because I have these that I pulled from that Cecile Mary Barker, the Fairyopolis book, and I like them because I have a lot of pages in ephemera that have this same paper. I can't talk today. But yeah, I will have an interesting Friday book haul for next week. Well, for this upcoming week, because I went to a really lovely, lovely bookstore. And the people were totally wonderful. And they're just, how to explain it. So, the gentleman who was working at the counter, he was really lovely. It's an older couple that own the place, and I don't know how long they've been there, for quite some time. It's called West Side Stories in Hamilton, Ontario. And they have a really nice selection of books, like old, new, really special, antique, and all sorts of stuff. And their prices are really reasonable. So I picked up a few things, and I was looking at the art books, which are right next to the cash register, and he was so kind. He said, oh, just do let me know if, you need some assistance. I can reach the higher up things for you if you're unable to reach them. I said, thank you so much. Height was not one of my gifts. And so he was so cute because he said, oh, I just love how you said that. So I could tell that he's, obviously an avid reader and someone who just really pays attention to language. Like, not to say that in a smarmy way or anything. Like, I'm not like a purist of like the English language or anything. I use a lot of slang myself, but like, it was just nice to hear someone like express when they felt kind of in their element. I always like to find things where you feel like you get inside the niche of somebody else's interest, and like that was one of those things. This is a cute page. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do with this main page. This is a front page too. So let me look in my stuff. Some of these videos might be a little slow as I make decisions, but that's nice. Yeah, that may be the case. But, this is the reality of journal making, is that it does require a lot of thinking and kind of trying things, looking for things, There's lots of that. And I do have like some larger full pages here that I want to look through to see if they'd be appropriate. And I don't think I have anything. I'm gonna have to just get creative here. So I do like this a lot. I think it would be nice there. The dream for a froglet is not hard for even a small fairy to organize. Okay. We're not going to use the text though. So what I need to do is first size this down a bit. So I want to leave a little bit of an edge on the page, because I just think that looks nice. Okay. Whoops. Yeah, I don't know what I want to do today. I obviously want to work on this stuff, but I also think it'd be nice to get outside because it's a really beautiful day. I don't need to do any shopping. So I may find an activity and do it outside. for a bit. I also want to sew a dress for my daughter. I'm trying to like go through my fabric stash. I need to mordant fabric for eco printing. I was at there's a woods that I go to where they have horse chestnut trees, which are sadly quite endangered these days in the area that I live, and they have so many nice leaves that I want to print there. Really good high tannin plants. So I want to get mordanting some fabric so I can work on that. Okay. I'm just using art glitter glue for this because this paper is like a little bit heavier and I don't want it to come up using only glue stick, because sometimes heavier paper, it just needs a little more support than like copy paper, weight paper. If this were just copy paper, I would go ahead and just leave it. All right, now I need to grab some paint and paint brushes to fill this in, so I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. I just also realized how extremely unhappy this nun looks. And this is my glue book, if you're wondering. So I grabbed a few paints, so Sea Glass and Spa Blue Deco Art Americana, and then some Arteza Fairy Tale Blue. And what I like to use is this particular Spa Blue or the Sea Glass one. These paints are really, they have good coverage. They're very matte and they aren't transparent at all, really. And they dry very quickly. And I just like to kind of, not quite dry brush, but like not a super wet brush. I gotta get the goop out of the top of this. There we go. And this paint, it's getting a little, this one is getting empty. I have to pick up another bottle. So it's gonna be a little messier than normal because I have to shove the whole brush in, and I'm gonna get all this paint up on my brush because I'm too lazy to use my palette apparently today, even though it's sitting right here in front of my face. Yeah, so what else? So yeah, yesterday. So I got lots of good books. I didn't go to the typical thrift stores. I just went to a used bookstore and our recycling center because I had a ton of donations. We've had these tiles for quite some time. They're like ceramic tiles that they're like, they look like they look padded in a woven padded kind of pattern, and we got them a long time ago thinking we were going to do something with them, and then we changed our mind on that, and so they've just been sitting, these 3 boxes of tiles, like on the stairwell, on the side of the stairwell, which is bad. You shouldn't put things on your stairs, but they've been there for literally years on the way down to my studio. And so because we had to bring this new water heater down, my husband was like, well, you know, what do you think about these? I'm like, I have been wanting to donate those for a long time, but I know you sort of wanted to do something with them, so I've just kind of ignored them and, you know, got a little bit like accepting of their presence. So he's like, okay, let's donate them. So we just donated them to our recycling center because people go there for a lot of building materials. Like that's probably their #1 most sold thing, I would say, is building materials and renovation type materials. And we were unloading them, and it was funny because there was a woman who was also unloading her car, and she's like, oh, what is that? So I said, I'll leave them here. You can talk to the lady over here who works here. I'm just donating them. So maybe they would go quickly, hopefully, because they were so heavy and I just couldn't be bothered to deal with selling them or anything. I just wanted to get them out of my life, because sometimes you need to do that, or like, you know, you just end up stuck with things forever if you're waiting for someone to buy them on something like Marketplace or whatever, and I just don't have it in me these days for a lot of things. I'm trying to downsize because we want to make a move, and I've been talking about that forever, but it's a little complicated right now for us. We're very busy. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I'm happier with that. Now we have a little bit of like a sky, and that'll be added writing space there. So that's a nice way to just add a flat bit of writing space. Just do some nice painting. You don't have to be like a major artist or anything. You know, just add some paint. So this is good. This is good. So these pages, I'm happy with all of those. So this one needs to dry a little bit. So let me just... I'll set my paintbrush here. I'm not going to put it in water yet. I'll just set this to the side. And we'll look at the signature again and see where we are. So this page is usable. This is the next one that I want to cover. So I'm going to use, let me see, this, I guess, as like a bookmark so I know where that page goes. So I want to keep these poems. I like those poems a lot. So now I just need something to cover up this page. And I should have something here. This is cute. That might be nice to cover that up. Oh, there's also a unicorn with bunnies. That would be nice. I think I'm going to go unicorn and bunnies, even though this is a fairy journal. I mean, this is part of a fairy story, and I just think that that's a really pretty image. I like it more actually than I like the unicorn or the fairy at the back. So let's just use this one because it's cute. Okay, so that will go there, and we'll have to trim this about here. That was definitely crooked. Oopsie. I should use my trimmer, or I could use the ruler and just not be so crooked. There we go. All right, so then this, now do we want to do anything else with this? Like, I'm just looking at my scraps all the time, like, oh, can I put some scrap in here and cover up some white space maybe? Not that. There's some silver paper here. We just did a little silver there and down here maybe. Yeah, it just adds a little more interest. So, but I do think you can add writing. That's writing space as well, and that little blank space. I mean, I can even add a little tuck pocket there if I want to later on, but that's not the stage that I'm at, so I don't want to overwhelm myself. Because as you go through these stages, like the first stage, you know, also is obviously getting like your covers or whatever. Well, that's how I tend to do things. Then like it gets more and more exciting and fun as you go, because, you know, now I've put all the signatures in, so now it's a little less overwhelming. I've got my blank pages that I chose to go with my book pages. That made it less overwhelming. Now I'm, you know, covering all the pages that are unusable, and so when that's done, it's going to be less overwhelming, because then I'm going to have pages that are just fully usable. Then we have to add, you know, pockets and tuck spots to replace writing space on highly decorated pages, and then that'll get done, and that part's really fun. And then after that, you've just got to stuff those pockets. So it's kind of like it's this process of getting like less and less overwhelming. Like a blank slate can be very overwhelming, and I know that, but it's like it does get easier and easier. I'm going to use my drinking water over here as my paint water, because I'm not going to drink that water. All right. And that way, I don't have to worry about my brush drying out, and I won't have to get up. Because I always forget to get water when I'm painting. Yeah, okay, like that. All right, so there's another page covered. Okay, back to our signature and put it back where it came from. Here. Done. This is good. Oh, this one I need to repair. So I'm going to do something. I'm just going to run over to the sewing machine real quick, like I'll be right back. And I have to switch threads, so I will pause. Okay, so I just went to the sewing machine and we had a tear in this page, so I wanted to just do some visible mending, so I just did zigzag stitch in yellow on the text, and it's brown at the back here. So we'll just clip these long threads. And what we can do a little nod to the Japanese method of kintsugi. Kintsugi is not something that I really ever used with paper in mind. I've used it in ceramics, as I've been a potter in my artistic journey here. I have done a lot of pottery. It's just the application of gold on places where ceramics have cracked. It's like a visible mending technique where you're paying a little bit of an homage to the crack or the mistake, and you're making it more beautiful. It's not something I've ever used in paper really, except I saw 49 Dragonflies Barbara do it with paper, and I had kind of a giggle because in the ceramics world, you know, you work really hard on ceramics. It's a very it's a process that has many stages, and it can go wrong in many stages. It's not a very forgiving art at all. So you can destroy your piece in several ways along the route of making it. Put it that way. So kintsugi is something people say, oh, you know, if ever you post a picture on social media of something that went wrong, that's the first thing people are going to say to you is, oh, you could do this, and then you're just like, that doesn't bring my piece back, but thank you, I've only heard that 500 other times. So kintsugi, and even talking about it, is something I tiptoe around because I know a lot of potters that pretty much will have their head will explode if you mention it, because it doesn't help you in your moment of frustration. Okay, so I'm looking at this page, and this is fairyland scenes, but this has got more kind of like gnomes and grasshoppers and things going on. And then back here is just text that I don't want. I really wanted this page just literally for this beautiful image here. So this one's a little more like violent too, like they're all kind of at war with one another, and I don't want that, and I don't want this. So I need to cover these pages with something. And I think probably I want to do that with some paper. I could also, I'm thinking about doing some priming of pages and then jelly printing them, like a few jelly printed pages, but I don't know. Just gonna take a quick look at what I have here. I may also print some just nice digital background paper. And I could turn some of these into like pocket pages that have like a full pocket. That might be nice on that side. So let's turn this page into a pocket page. So I need to make this a little thicker. So I'm going to glue it right down onto my glue page here. Okay, so that's more substantial now. I think the way I want this page to work, this will go here, and I'm going to do a little cutout, so this will be a side tuck spot. So let's grab my circle punch. Alright, so I'm going to stitch around this pocket because I think that will be nice. I'm going to also, I think, put some fabric at the top. Look at this scrappy kind of linen that's been hanging around for a bit here. I think we'll do that, and maybe even I've got some of this fun paper. I'm going to just add that here, and we're going to stitch that whole thing on here. So I will be right back once I stitch around this. Okay, so this has been stitched around, and we need to add this to this page, so glue that down. Right there. Whoopsies, that's not what we want to happen. Okay, we have to fix this. Where is, if something like that ever happens to you, it's probably because the shiny page, it's got a little bit of a slip to it sometimes. It can get a little bit of a slip like that with glue. So let's just wipe it completely off, because you don't want to glue your pocket down and then have it be sticky and annoying. So it's best to just wipe it completely. Then just dry it. Clean slate. It's okay. All right. Now let's just re-glue this again. And just kind of check make sure on the back of your pocket you don't have any wet glue anywhere you don't want. So like right there, that's good now. The rest is fine. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. Right there. And then instead of sliding it, this time I'll press it down with my hand first. There we go. Now we're secure. That's done. Okay, so now we have 2 more pages that we need to deal with on this page. So this side, I'm thinking some regular paper with an accent of some kind. Something to go with that page would be nice. So this is good. Now we go over here. And I literally could just glue this whole thing down and make it like flip out, but I don't need any more flip outs. So I'm going to trim it about here so we have a little border still. Okay. Little border as well. Oops. Okay. Messy, messy, messy me. That's okay, because now I can keep the, if you can see down here, the little number on the book. That's kind of fun. And this can just get glue sticked down. We don't need to add any crazy glue to this one because it's just copy paper. And then we can do some embellishing on this page when we're at the embellishing stage. I'm going to purposely try to create a little bit of a crinkle here and there. Yeah, that's cool. Add a little of this new shimmer that I just got to this crinkle. Okay. Alright, that's that one. Then back here we need to do something else. We have this cute little fairy down here. So maybe I'll keep the fairy intact. Looking at all these papers, I have lots of papers in this stack that I got when I was thrifting the other day. This could be a perfect way to just add a nice simple little covered area that we can embellish later, but it gets rid of the words. Like I said, it's just about making this page, these pages a little less overwhelming, right? So that you're not super concerned about how to put the whole journal together at the same time. I tend to do both, like this kind of a method, but then sometimes I just really buckle down and I do one full page at a time. I get everything embellished and everything I want to do, but I'm sort of trying to practice this today because it's a little fun. What I might do though, just because I'm struggling with the blockiness of this, I want to add this little bit far beyond her tiny wings. Little word snippet that's going to kind of break things up a bit for me. Add a little bit of interest right here. And I may just kind of ink and green on this white space. That's better. Okay, then I think I want to do maybe something else over here to just hide this line, and I'm not sure what I want to do. Yeah, okay. I need a straight, do a straight edge here. Yeah, we do. Okay, I need a straight edge for this. Okay. Okay. Just line this up with the edge of the page. There. Okay, so yeah, that's going to give me a good working page now that I feel better about. All right. That one's good. And it goes in here where my bookmark is, right there. Okay, and I think that's all. Yeah, that's it for that one. Now we can replace this because it's dry now. And that is another completed signature that's ready to go for like embellishing. So that's that. So I will call that a video for now. I just wanted to share a little bit of the process of putting the journals together with you. So I will come back probably soon with another of these type of videos where I'm continuing to work on these, because if we think about it, I think I've got like 14 journals. Let's say each of them have, you know, even if we just said 2 signatures, it would still be 28 signatures that I have to do. But I know most of them have like between 3 and 7. So yeah, we have a little bit of work to do. And I don't know if I want to just, I might try to work on one journal at a time, and then I'll have it ready to go so that I'm not doing like 14 flip through videos in a row. Like I'll be able to break things up a little. Plus I'm going to try to work on some other things during this whole fairy process. So you can consider fairies like an undertone of my channel, because I am working on some other things too. And yeah, I'll be sharing some other stuff. So thank you again for hanging out with me, and I will talk to you all again very soon. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.